What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to a build video for Zero. Today I'm going to be taking a look at probably about 4 different Shotgun Zero builds. Now Zero is very good with shotguns, which is kind of surprising to some people. For a few different reasons he is. For one, Deception is just really nice for reloading and then lining up a kill shot with a shotgun. And also he's got stuff like one shot, one kill, which will give a big damage bonus to a shotgun. And Precision will tighten the spread, allowing you to land more pellets on an enemy, which is really nice. So this first build here is a hybrid sniper shotgun build. I'll just call it Shotty Sniper Zero. Now typically you do not see people use snipers and non-snipers together on Zero. This is for 2 main reasons. For one, obviously when you're stacking critical ascension with a sniper rifle, if you swap to another weapon you'll lose your stacks. And the other main reason is two-fang. For most sniper rifles it's not good, although there are some exceptions, but it is very good for the shotguns. But the thing is, we can swap off and lose, even if we lose our stacks of critical ascension, we can still play this effectively. Now yes, it's not the most optimized way to play, but it's still perfectly viable and good even. Again, you just need to build and play intelligently. You can still do unoptimal stuff like that, right? It's just still fun to play this way, even if it's not the most optimal way to play this, and you'll see it's still effective. Whenever I use this, the gear you see in these videos sometimes is gibbed, but if you ever see perfect gear or gemstone skins, that is gear that I got legitimately. Whenever I use gib to make gear, I don't make it perfect. But for example, this development is one of the best gemstones I've ever got. I did use this extensively in my OP10 challenge run where I beat it with no slag, no red text gear, and no badass rank. I will link to that run if you want to check that out. But for those of you who don't know, gemstone skins, they're purple weapons that have plus 7.5% crit damage, and they have a small chance to reflect bullets. That's what the gemstone skin does. So they're basically just the best tier of non-uniques. You do get these from feeding Iridium to Butt Stallion after completing Dragon Keep. It will not work in the Commander Lilith DLC, although you can get the Unicorn Explosion if you feed that Butt Stallion while wearing the Amulet of Friendship. But do remember you can only get one one Unicorn Explosion per character. But anyway, yeah, I did get this legitimately, so I did want to go ahead and use it. And also, this Striker is a legit one I got from Haderax. Now, I've seen debate about whether the vertical grip or the critical hit accessory are the best for this weapon, but I'm sure they're both fine, so I'm just going to go ahead and rock this. I do like to use non-unique weapons to show that they're still viable on OP10, so I'm going to be rocking this Muckamuck here. I'm going to try to use some different shields and relics and class mods and grenades here. I'm just going to run the blockade here. For a shotgun build, you want as tanky of a shield as possible because you're going to be in close range, right? For a sniper build, you could risk using an absorb shield because you're further back, but I do really like tankier shields for shotgun builds. So I'm just going to run this blockade. I'm going to run this O negative. Now the O negative is often considered to be inferior to the slag transfusion because it cannot drop with a 0 fuse time, although it can drop with the 0.1 fuse time, which is very close. But I just wanted to show that even if it has a fuse time, this will still work. You know, this is worth farming if you just cannot find that 0 fuse time slag transfusion grenade. And then again, this legendary sniper comm will be good for the sniper. It'll be good for the shotguns because of stuff like precision and one shot, one kill. Also, where it says sniper rifle critical damage, that is bugged. That does actually apply to all weapon types, which is really nice. You can see I'm using a level 62 version. This is because it doesn't reduce your shield nearly as much, but it gives you about the same damage bonus, so that's what I would recommend. And then I'm just going to run a Shotgun Heart of the Ancients here, which will help with our survivability, and it'll give us shotgun damage for both the development and the striker, even though they have different damage types. So that'll be nice. Now, our relic is not going to benefit the Muckamuck here, but the sniper comm will and Zero's natural sniping skills should make it viable. So again, one shot, one kill at 10 points, excellent. Fully spec'd into velocity, this will be good. 9 points in precision for tightening that spread. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty effective way to merge snipers and shotguns. And we will go ahead and get started here. Obviously, this is not a fully optimized build, but again, I'm just trying to show that you don't have to have perfectly optimized builds, right? You just need to have good synergistic builds. And you can see the Muckamuck is a very good non-unique sniper. It's not as competitive as some others, but it's perfectly viable. And now the Striker it does have a surprisingly good range. As you can see, it almost killed that guy from that distance. So I'm going to be able to use it at almost middle range. And then this development is, again, it's one of my favorite weapons that I've ever got. It just looks so sick. Obviously, any torque barreled shotgun is going to be really good. And again, I'm going to try to use a variety of gear here. so I'm not going to use the blockade on every build, although it is just my favorite shield. So you can see the Muck is not good with Two Fang. It is probably not going to be able to land that extra shot because of the recoil. See if I can kill him without slag. Yep. Again, the development, this thing is so devastating, man. I love this thing so much. I've only got like 4 really good gemstones. I've got this, I've got a Rock Ravager, and then 2 Aquamarine Rakel's. And then that's about the best of the gemstones I've got. They're kind of a fun, it's like somebody put it as they're kind of a fun side quest to pursue, but not, they're not like game-breakingly better than regular purples. Mostly they're just cool to play around with. Okay, so I missed all my kunai there. But we'll go ahead and take him out. Now, when you get to Boom Boom up here, if you guys have seen my, I recently did a Melee Zero video where I took on a bunch of bosses and stuff. I think Two Fang did hit him that time. If you enter this arena while jumping, for some reason it fucks with their behavior, and Boom won't get into Big Bertha. It's a kind of a weird buggy thing. I will link that Melee Zero video if you want to check that out. I'll try to take advantage of that here. So jumping. You can see, where is he? Why can't my, there he is. He's not moving, he's called Big Bertha. So really weird bug, I don't understand it. Gearbox magic, but Alpha did tell me about that. So yeah, you guys, credit to Alpha for that. I don't understand it, but yeah. Okay, let's get to some safety here. This beginning section can be kind of difficult. Like I've always said, I think it's part of the reason people struggle with Ultimate Vault Hunter mode at first. Because Boom Boom is pretty tough, like Big Bertha can actually kill you through Health Gate. And then Captain Flint is a pretty tough mini-boss. I can't see. But yeah, Shotgun Zer0, ton of fun. And again, you can see, even though this is not an optimized, a completely fully optimized build, it is still plenty viable. And I do like to do, like I said, with these builds, I do like to do at least some bosses or mini-bosses with them. Earlier on, when I was doing build videos, I didn't make it a priority to do bossing, but moving forward, I'm going to. And also, Dogabe was asking me about why I use the damage accessory on these slag pimps. Some people have asked me that. That was just the first one I got. The first good one I got when I was farming it was a slag pimpernel with a matching grip and a damage accessory. And I just accepted that. I don't have much patience for farming, so I'll often accept stuff like that. If you notice on my legit Zero, I don't have a ton of perfect gear. But yeah, the fire rate accessory is probably better. Maybe the magazine accessory. Oh, I missed. But Zero does already have that one with the gun, so, you know, technically it's debatable what's perfect, but that's just kind of what I settled in with. I may try out the fire rate. I assume for like Haderax, it would make quite a big difference because he's very hard to slag. So maybe for raid bosses, it's a bigger deal. And when it comes to the shotguns, again, it's debatable. For some of the shotguns, it's debatable whether the vertical grip or the critical hit accessory is better. For shotguns that have a ton of projectiles, I actually like the critical hit accessory better. Because obviously, the vertical grip always just adds 2 projectiles, which means it gets less valuable as you have more and more projectiles. But it's still good, right? And as I've said in the past videos, that you don't really need specific parts or perfect gear for the most part. But I've always acknowledged that the one exception to that is shotguns that have a low number of projectiles. They are massively boosted by the vertical grip. So I will be using vertical grips on shotguns like that in these other builds. But as a, you know, to make up for it, I won't be using matching grips or anything. But yeah, that is like the one exception in this game where you do need specific parts. And I'm blabbing and it's being really hard to focus. There we go. He didn't get slag, seriously. Oh, God, scavengers are so tanky, man. The diamond development can really, it can take out most enemies without slagging them, honestly, but scavengers are just super tanky. Yeah, you can see what I mean. This is not like a fully optimized build or anything. It's got a couple of synergistic flaws, I guess you could say. But it's still going to get the job done. Get my health back up here. Try to disrupt this guy with an execute. Take him out. He wasn't slagged. Where's this guy at? This is going to take a little bit for that to get back over here, but there we go. But yeah, I would recommend for shotgun builds, again, because you're often going to be in close range, you do want that, you know, as tanky of a shield as you have. See if I can use this from back here. Yeah, I mean, look at the range on that Striker. Striker's a very fun weapon. It's another one that you don't really see much about. I might have to cover it, and it's better than you think. But yeah, I mentioned Dogabe. He is the guy who beat Veracitus with Axton. I will link to his run if you guys want to check that out. And if you guys, I picked up a lot of subs. Some of you may not have seen my raiding video with Zero where I beat all the raid bosses. I will link to that also if you want to check it out. I did beat Veracitus with Melee Zero. Veracitus is an abomination, one of the a horrible blight upon humanity. So I have always fully acknowledged that stuff like that is, you know, completely unacceptable. So, you know, maybe if they do ever remake Borderlands 2, they could adjust stuff like that. That would be good. I just don't want them to completely gut the difficulty, which I have a feeling they would do if they ever did that, you know. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm also going to redo that Blink Shotgun Zer0 video. That was one of my favorites. One of my favorite ways to play Shotgun Zer0. Or I'm not going to redo it. I'm going to do a different area this time. An area with the boss. And I'll do a different map, you know. Which, no. You know what? I did Southpaw. Southpaw counts because Southpaw has 4 mini bosses. So it's basically like equivalent to a boss. They're fairly tough mini bosses as well. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show that here too in case you guys didn't see that. Again, that is one of my favorite ways to play Shotgun Zer0. And again, with having velocity, it is hurting the slag pimp a bit, as you can see. But that's okay. He wasn't slagged, and we're able to take him out with the diamond development. Again, the increased range on the Striker is nice. Yeah, I'll probably do like an Allegiance build, and then I'll probably do a Deputy build as well. And again, I'll probably do a couple raid bosses. So let's not get surrounded here. That is the easiest way to die. Seriously, see, I'm so used to the Pimpernel always slagging in one shot that I get annoyed when it doesn't. So that's usually why I almost always just skip velocity. See if I can hit him from back here. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that range on the Striker is really nice. Close in here and use the development. Boom, one shot. Yeah, again, this thing packs such a punch that I was able to kill enemies without slag in that challenge run, if you guys haven't seen that. I would also like to practice some more speed runs. The only 2 raid bosses I've done speed runs for are the Dragons and Terramorphous. I really want to practice and do some more. Also, like I always mention in these videos, that for shotguns, the sight, when you scope in, you do actually reduce the spread, which is nice. And I believe the Jacob's sight does give you the most spread reduction. So if you can get that Jacob's sight, definitely want to keep an eye out for that. All right. Yeah, so you can see, even though I'm swapping back and forth, I'm still, you know, the build is plenty competent, even if it's not fully optimized. I don't think I could hit him from this range with the Muckamuck. And again, I do have the defensive bonuses from the Heart of the Ancients if I need them. So far I haven't, but they are going to be there for us. It is such a shame that the O negative cannot drop with the 0 fuse time. I don't know if that's a bug or what, probably. I know the community patch makes it so that it does, which is a really good change. Got a really good run in today. I've really been able to run a lot lately. I mentioned this before, but the main reason I originally started a YouTube channel, this was over a year ago. That was my first channel. This is my third one, obviously. was because I was like sick all the time and I wanted something to focus on while I was sick. You see, I used to be in really good shape and stuff. I started playing soccer in middle school and I started lifting and running then. I sucked at soccer though, I was terrible. But I did stick with lifting and running, and for a long time I was in really good shape until I ended up, let's just say I had some health issues, and ended up getting really bad out of shape and gaining weight and stuff. And I was just like sick all the time. And like I said, I wanted something to focus on when I was sick, so that's why I started that original YouTube channel that is now deleted. But lately I've been healthy for a long time. This is the longest I've been able to consistently work out and run and stuff, so that's been going really well. I've lost some weight too, not all of it yet. I got up to 223, I'm down to 193 now, so I'm definitely making good progress, but it just sucked, man. I would get sick for like months and months and months at a time. I ended up getting my tonsils taken out. I've been on allergy shots for years. It was just horrible. It's turned me into a hypochondriac. I like sanitize touch surfaces every day, which you need to honestly be doing anyway. Like, our phones carry so much disgusting crap. You probably don't even want to know, but just sanitize them, okay? Trust me. Yeah, really nice. I really like the Striker. Very fun shotgun. But yeah, hopefully I'm able to continue to stay healthy and keep up my routine this time. I would make progress and then get sick again for a long time, and man, it just sucked. For like months at a time too. Alright, so we got Captain Flint here. He's pretty tough. Let's see, I'll probably just need to burst him down with my Striker here. Ah, God, here's a freaking scavenger in my face. Boom, nice. Alright, so we'll go ahead and buy ammo and jump down here. Again, he can be pretty tough. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? You can get overwhelmed pretty fast here if you don't take these guys out. And I'm still not seeing him. Oh, he's way the frick up there. Damn. Oh, pfft. Slag Pimp did some good work there. Okay, now he's in his immunity phase, so let's just focus on taking out the mobs. He is immune during that phase, right? I'm pretty sure he is. I can't see, bro. I see red dots everywhere, but I can't see the damn enemies. Alright, so I think that phase is over, right? Oh my God, what? How did that hit me from all the way over there? Alright, this is kind of scary. Alright, we should be good. Alright, throw a couple of grenades. Alright, we almost got him, Man, he is not... The range on that is absurd. Come on. This is gonna be close. I have a feeling he's about to down me. There we go, nice. TDR grip, no accessory, tinderbox. Alright, dude. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you see what I mean about how it's okay to swap back and forth even if it may not be the most efficient way to play. Boom, take him out, no slag. Boom, take him out, one shot. There we go, nice. Yeah, but there's Shotty Sniper 0. Put some respect on the non-uniques. Muckamuck, Striker, Development, Blockade, O negative, Shotgun Heart of the Ancients, Legendary Sniper. Check out the skills. No bar, and we will head on to the next one. Alright guys, and here we are with the Blink Shotgun Zer0 build. This is one of my favorite ways to play Shotgun Zer0, and again, I did kind of cover this build before, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, use a couple different weapons and on a different map here. Now, if you guys have played Destiny, this is kind of a Destiny-themed build. There was a playstyle called Blink Shotgun, where basically you just used a shotgun and the Blink ability, which was like a short distance teleport, similar to Blink and Dishonored if you've played that. You would just blink around and shoot people and stuff, and it was pretty fun. I think some people considered it a newbie strategy. I don't really know. I'm not super familiar with Destiny. I played it a little bit. But I thought by using the Legendary Hunter, which will give us cooldown rate, combined with the Bone of the Ancients to give us cooldown rate, to allow us to get our Deception back as quickly as possible would sort of emulate that. This will allow us to reload really quickly and then get good damage off with one shot, one kill and allow us to reposition. Of course, we'll have 10 total points and fast hands with the Legendary Hunter, which is really nice. Now, in that original video, I used the Jolly Roger, which is a great shotgun, but the Sledge's shotgun should be good for this too. Now, I'm just going to run a Herald because Destiny had a weapon class called Hand Cannons, which was just like a giant-ass pistol that was really strong, so I'm just going to run it. I couldn't think of anything else to replace that with. And then I'm going to use the Norfleet, sort of an homage to the Gallahorn, which was an infamous rocket launcher in Destiny for being really overpowered, such to the point that some looking for group sites and stuff they wouldn't let you play unless you had the Gallahorn because it was that good. In the original video, I used the Bada Boom, but yeah, this is sort of reminiscent of that. I haven't actually used the Norfleet on, I don't think at all yet anyway, so I'm just gonna run the Blockade again. Again, it's my favorite shield. It does give you 35% true damage reduction, which will also apply to your health. And since the Legendary Hunter will allow us to get 10 total points in Iron Hand, that'll help that health stretch a little bit further. Slag Transfusion Grenade, the old reliable, again, Firebone for the fire damage and the cooldown rate. And again, we'll be able to blink around, reposition easily, reload, get big damage off with one shot, one kill. We'll have extra crit damage with Headshot here. I did go ahead and spec into Velocity. And the Hunter does also give crit damage and reload speed, and then it has the unique effect of giving you 10% of your health back every time you activate Deception. So this is a fun little build to play around with, and we will get started here. Like I said, I played Destiny a bit. I was never crazy about it because it was more multiplayer oriented than Borderlands. Now, I also should have mentioned, we have 10 points in Killing Blow as well, which will let us finish off weak enemies really easily. And then the 10 points in Fast Hands is really nice too. But yeah, it's kind of funny. My two favorite series are Borderlands and Monster Hunter, which are both like multiplayer oriented. Let's see what the Norfleet can do to all these guys. Oh, nah. But I play them basically exclusively solo. But for Destiny, it's a much more shallow experience if you play it solo. Like, people complain about the raids being too hard for solo players in Borderlands 2, which I mean, I do agree with, in fairness. But try solo raiding in Destiny, it's like almost literally impossible. Like, to solo OP10 raids, you have to be really good. You have to be a really good player. To solo raids in Destiny, you have to be basically a god, from my understanding. But they're much more fleshed out. Like, they're like longer takedowns from Borderlands 3. They're not just bosses and stuff. But yeah, Destiny definitely had a lot of cool stuff. I really liked the exotic weapons. There's a lot of really interesting weapons. But again, it was just the fact that it was so multiplayer oriented that, you know, as a solo player, it's a fairly shallow experience, in my opinion. Probably not everybody will agree with that, but I like the Hunter class the best, which is probably not surprising to anybody. It's the closest thing to Zero. Halo was one of my favorite games back in the day. It was, I used to be really into multiplayer shooters. I was really especially into Halo, and I played it a lot. And then just kind of over the years, I stopped playing multiplayer shooters, multiplayer games in general. But if I were to get back into one, I did like the multiplayer in Destiny. It was a lot of fun. I don't really like a lot of the new multiplayer games, like the CODs and stuff. Maybe the hero shooters and stuff I could give a chance. I'd probably like those. But yeah, I really like the multiplayer in Destiny too. Like the PvP, I should say. Yeah, Sledge's shotgun, really good weapon. I have covered this in a weapon review if you want to check that out. It does have that double burst, so very strong weapon. Pretty slept on. Let's retreat a little bit. That guy's pretty tanky. Range dropping off a little bit. But yeah, I just find that for multiplayer shooters, to play them, to get my skill level high enough to play them at the level I enjoy playing at, I need to commit a lot of time a week. Like, probably at least a couple hours a day. And I just don't want to do that, you know? And we got one of these guys up here. He's like one of the tankiest enemies in the game. There we go. So if, this can handle them as long as I actually crit with it. Warlord something is his name. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, as you can see, Shotgun Zer0, a ton of fun. Very, very effective. That thing should be spawning any second. I thought I was going to have one of those moments where it's like he's already right behind me. But there he is. I see him to my left in my peripheral. Warlord Turge. Yeah, one of the tankiest enemies in the game. Gosh, even the Norfleet boosted by 1 shot, 1 kill, and 2 Fang couldn't take him out in 1 shot. Killing blow. Nice. Yeah, again, launchers are always your get-out-of-jail-free weapon, basically. Especially the Norfleet. Again, the Bada Boom works really well, too. But as far as, like, a super broken, infamous rocket launcher, the Norfleet kind of fills that role. Similar to the Galahorn again. Man, that sound is so satisfying. But yeah, I did find the Destiny PvP to be a lot of fun. But again, I was just not super good at it, and I didn't want to invest the amount of time to reach a skill level I would enjoy playing at, you know. Ooh, look at that. Chaotic Evil Rogue, that would be good. Blue one would be better, but you know, that would definitely be viable. Yeah, so I believe these are the only chests that you can get these alignment comms out of. I think if it's an actual mimic, like a monster, it can't drop those. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. But yeah, as far as Destiny, it had a lot of cool stuff. Bungie is really good at making like interesting flavor, like flavor text and interesting cool stuff like that. But the game felt pretty shallow. I remember supposedly they cut out like a bunch of stuff that was supposed to be in the game. I remember it was this big controversy. And I think Activision maybe had a hand in that. I can't remember. I used to know all about this, but that was years ago. But I mean, obviously every game is going to have cut content, but apparently they like intentionally cut content from the base game to resell it as DLC in a really malicious way. And I remember all of the DLCs felt really like shallow and short, like they were trying to get away with selling the smallest amount of content humanly possible. Remember, you can take advantage of these relics here throughout this DLC. Pretty cool. But yeah, let me know if there are other exotics that are like sort of similar to weapons in Borderlands 2. Again, I was not super knowledgeable about the game. I really liked the Thorn hand cannon, which was like a fan favorite. I ended up getting it. You had to do like a long quest chain to get it, and it did involve some multiplayer stuff, I remember. It's like PvE stuff that you usually need a group for. I remember I got to the last step, and it was to do something, I think, in a really hard PvE section that, you know, was multiplayer oriented. Now, I think I didn't ever get around to doing it, but like the game updated at some point, and I just got it. Like after that update, I just got the Thorn for some reason. Don't kill me, please, please, please. That was very close. But yeah, the Thorn was a very cool weapon. Now with Velocity, I can use the Herald a little bit further away than usual. Gotta be careful of this guy's damage over time. See if I can outrange him. Oh god. Alright, let's just line up another shot here. And there we go. Yeah, again, this is a very fun build. One of my favorite ways to play Shotgun Zer0. Oh, there's another one. See if I can get some crits on him here. There we go. Almost got him in one burst. And then I was fucking around and almost died. Okay, that was very, very close. I should have, I went for the killing blow there. I should have just shot him. Activate Defense Shrine. Does that heal you? I'm not sure exactly what that does, honestly. A sniper rifle with this would have been nice for longer range. We are kind of lacking on longer range options right now. That is going to kill me for sure. That damage over time is really scary. I have like PTSD from damage over time, man. It's so overtuned. You know, I've talked a lot, and a lot of other people have this opinion too, that a lot of things that make this game great were an accident. And where I'm going with that is like, the damage over time is certainly overtuned, like it's definitely not balanced right. But even that ends up kind of helping the game because it really incentivizes you to get Maliwan capacitors on your gear. I can't hit this guy. There we go. So it makes those elemental immunities really valuable. So it'll give, like obviously the blockade cannot have those. So it helps balance the game in that sense. And obviously, one of the biggest ones is Melee Zero. I don't think Gearbox ever planned on players stripping their own shields. And then, obviously, I know a lot of people don't like health gating, or essentially the fact that enemies can do... Basically, people feel like enemies do too much damage. And even with health gate, like, I actually like health gate. For me, it adds a really interesting strategic layer. Like, whenever I'm above health gate, I know I'm safe. I know a lot of people don't really care for it. But it allows you to do stuff like the glass tank setups, and like my favorite build in the series is the Love Thumper Zero build. Well, I call mine Blooming Blades Melee Zero, but it relies on health gating to survive. It's one of the few classes that genuinely does rely on it, one of the few builds. So if you took that away, that would hurt that build. Honestly, I feel like I could adjust and still make it work, but even stuff like that ends up working out. So for me, if they took health gate away and like readjusted the numbers so that the game essentially played the same, but there was just less of an emphasis on health gating, I would actually dislike that. I know not a lot of people share that opinion, but for me it ends up working out. And even the damage the enemies do, I do feel like you could argue is too much on OP10, but again, it makes the combat so engaging because the enemies are so threatening. And you've already got, like, again, you've got health gating to defend you, and you've also got fight for your life. And, you know, the fact that, again, death is usually not punishing. So, honestly, the enemies need to hit pretty hard with all of that stuff in your favor. And I say this as a Zero player, obviously, like, I rely a lot on cover and positioning as a Zero main. Other characters don't have to do that so much. Like, Mai, obviously, she's a lot more forgiving if you don't want to do that with. But certainly for Zero, if you want to play him well on OP10 or not die a lot, you need to make good use of cover and positioning. So there's going to be a lot of enemies here. Maybe since they're fighting each other, it won't hurt me too much. So his body blocked that shot. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Jeez. Now, when we get to the Iron Golem at the end of this, he is actually weak to fire, interestingly enough. Even though he looks like... Not this guy. This guy, I'm pretty sure this guy resists fire damage. So let's just go ahead and use the Herald on him. Well, let me see. Yeah, it's saying he resists that, so... I'll leave him there for a second wind if I need it. Maybe I should keep letting these guys fight before I kill him, actually. We'll go ahead and take him out. But yeah, the actual Iron Golem, or whatever it's called, he is weak to fire, even though he looks like an armored enemy. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm critical of this game for. Like, they make the elemental damage system so important, but then there's a bunch of enemies who have weird quirks and aren't actually weak to what you would think they would be weak to. That applies to a lot of enemies in this DLC, like the skeletons. I've covered this extensively in my TDR Axton video if you want to check that out. The typical skeletons, they resist fire, corrosive, and explosive, and they only take neutral damage from shock and non-elemental. And slag, technically, but... And then, like, the enemies on Digistruct Peak aren't real flesh enemies. And they aren't weak to fire, you know, so... How is this not hitting them? See if I can kill him with Kunai. Yep, there we go. I don't really have a way to reach him, so I'm just gonna have to use the launcher, and it didn't even kill him. Jeez. Yeah, I really should have brought a sniper. There we go. I couldn't think of a sniper rifle from Destiny that would be, you know, similar enough to use here. So, no weighted drops for our rocket launcher. Again, with the Norfleet, it has got crazy power, but even at max SDUs, you only get 11 shots. So, bada boom would have been, you know, arguably a better choice. But we're almost up to the ammo vendor up here anyway. Nice. Having a little bit of a hard time hitting the proper distance with the Herald since I am spec'd into velocity. There we go. Wait for that dynamite to blow up. What the heck is it? Oh, okay, it took forever. Alright, so we got this guy here. Let's avoid his damage over time, because he always hits me with it, and it's very dangerous. There we go, nice. Yeah, with the... Obviously, the Sledge's shotgun has a natural double burst, or it shoots 2 bursts. And with Two Fang, I think Two Fang can activate independently on each one. So I think sometimes with Two Fang, you'll do a triple burst, and I think sometimes you can do a quad burst. Again, that sound is just so satisfying. Now, obviously, Gearbox knew that people would be wanting to chain Many Must Fall kill. I mean, they added the skill Many Must Fall to the game for a reason, but I don't think they planned on people playing Melee Zero the way they do. And again, even if you took Health Gate away, I think I could make Melee Zero work, but obviously it would be a lot more difficult. I gotta retreat here. Yeah, I really should have brought some kind of sniper rifle or some kind of long range option here. Maybe I've got something on me I can switch to. It's mainly just these guys up here. I just can't reach them, not while these guys are harassing me anyway. Maybe I can do this. There we go, nice. Herald should work for them. Yep. Oh god. Come on, Heart, save me. Yeah, I just like the feeling of being basically in complete control of knowing whenever I'm safe and whenever I'm in danger. But alright, we'll go ahead and buy some ammo. And then we'll take on the Iron Golem here, or whatever he's called. Oh, he's called a Gold Golem, isn't he? Yeah, guys, bossing, OP10 bossing, you just need a good build and some good play. Don't slack him until he fully spawns in again. That's another thing that needs changed, is that slag locked glitch, which is a glitch where if you slag an enemy before they're fully spawned in, they will become immune to slag. Let's see what the Norfleet does to him. Yeah, there we go. And then he's going to retreat, yeah. Can you chase him over there? I'm not sure, actually. I'll probably just have to kill his minions until he decides to come back over. A lot of the pellets are missing at that range. I mean, we got him almost halfway dead already. Take him out. Yeah, if you were using this during normal gameplay, I would recommend throwing on some kind of long range option. You know, a Lauda, Amigo Sincero, whatever. Pimpernel. Because right now we just gotta wait him out. Or I mean, I need to kill these guys so I don't get overwhelmed. I could keep shooting him with the Herald, but again, another really important skill in this game is the ability to strafe and shoot at the same time, which if you've played multiplayer shooters competitively is also a very important skill in those types of games. If you just sit still while you aim, you're going to be a sitting duck. So can I crit him in that spot, or is that only... It doesn't look like it. Maybe that's only during the story mission. Yeah, that's not doing any crit damage. Alright, so we got this guy up here, so it could be a little bit hairy. Alright, we almost got him. Almost got him. There we go, nice. This guy, I wonder if what he's weak to. Nope, he's not. He does resist fire. But the Herald will go ahead and make quick work of him. So back in the day during the loot hunt, he could actually drop a grog nozzle legitimately. So there's a blue development. That would be decent. See if we get anything good from these treasure chests up here. A chaotic neutral rogue, that would be good too. And that's about it. Yeah, guys, there's the Blink Shotgun Zer0 build. Go ahead and get some gun accuracy. Check out the skills. Very fun build. Destiny themed build. And yeah, like I said, let me know if there are weapons similar to exotics from Destiny. Maybe I can make another Destiny themed build eventually. But yeah, we will head on to the next build. Alright guys, here we are with build number 3, and I'm going to do a Hyperion Allegiance setup this time. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the gear here. Now I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but obviously one downside to doing builds focused specifically around one weapon type is ammo consumption problems, right? So you're going to have to supplement probably with at least one other weapon. So I'm going to do a Hyperion Allegiance relic here. I'm going to do the Heartbreaker for the flesh enemies here. Very solid shotgun, good damage, and has healing, which is really nice. And I'm actually going to use the Interfacer. I have almost never used the Interfacer. A long time ago, several months ago, one of my subs asked me to do a build with the Interfacer. So here you go, man. Sorry it took so long, but we'll go ahead and test it out. I'm not very experienced with it, so we'll see how it does. And yeah, I'm gonna just run. Like I said, I like to do some non-unique representation here. We're just gonna do a competition here, which is a Hyperion sniper with a Vladoff barrel. And for slagging, let's see. I'll probably will stick with the Pimpernel since I'm not using velocity. I would try to use a Hyperion shield, but since Hyperion only has the B, which I don't want to use, and the Retainer, which its special effect is bugged, and then the other effect only works in the Writhing Deep, I'm just going to go ahead and use this purple turtle shield. I will use a Quasar Hyperion, Legendary Killer, which is Hyperion, and then of course the Hyperion Allegiance relic here. We've got one with damage and accuracy, and I'll have a bunch of reload speed from like 10 points in Killer and fast hands and stuff, so that'll be good. Again, I did skip velocity because I think it would hurt the Interfacer. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I did just want to go ahead and skip it. And yeah, so again, I'm using snipers with non-snipers here, which obviously is, you know, again, I already explained it in that first build, but this, again, it'll still work. And Hyperion snipers do actually function pretty well with Two Fang because of the reverse recoil. So we'll be able to take advantage of that, which will be nice. So other than that, yeah, I don't think I need to go over all the skills every single time, but we'll go ahead and get started here. Like I said, I did notice in Starkiller's Gear of Fortune that they were able to use I think they were using the Morningstar, and it was playing nicely with Two Fang because of that reverse recoil. Man, I love the Heartbreaker. I think this is a fan favorite shotgun. But good damage and healing is really, really nice. And yeah, as you can see, purple turtle shields, again, are my favorite non-unique shields. They're, I mean, honestly better than most unique shields. In my opinion, the big three defensive shields are the Antagonist, the Blockade, and the purple turtle shield. The Blockade is my favorite, but the other two are nice too. And there's a misconception that purple turtle shields, or turtle shields in general, don't work on OP10. And that is not true, guys. It's just a matter of if it reduces your health to 1, like if it fully reduces your health, then you will just die as soon as you take damage. But as long as it doesn't fully reduce it, they work out really nice because you get a good mix of overall shield stats. I mean, you can see 7.5 million capacity, 700,000 recharge rate on a 2.3 delay. That's really good. And then we can actually make the health reduction work in our favor because, again, because of health gating, it'll make it easier to stay above health gate. So we'll be able to survive really easily. Especially since I'm using a Moxie weapon, right? So really nice in that sense. I really like them. I'd recommend keeping an eye out for a good purple turtle shield. And they can have Maliwan capacitors. You know, the Blockade and the Antagonist cannot have a Maliwan capacitor. And, you know, that is the part that gives you elemental immunities. Or dot immunities, you know. You can't be immune to a full element, but you can be immune to a dot. And we will try to take on Saturn here. Again, like I said, I'm going to try to do maps that have mobs and a boss, or at least a mini boss or something. And Saturn, one of the worst bosses in the game. But hopefully, since with Zero, we can just bore him. Honestly, regular Saturn, after fighting Saturn 2.0 so much in Digistruct Peak, regular Saturn is honestly not that bad. I might eat those words here in a second. We'll see. So you can see Two Fang is allowing us, because of the reverse recoil, we're still able to land some good shots there. So we can get our health back up with Kunai and the Heartbreaker. I did have to swap off and lose my stacks of Critical Ascension. That's fine. Again, you just need intelligent builds. It's not like you have to throw the entire build out if there's a little bit of conflict there, you know. Nice. Yeah, I mean, non-unique's totally viable on OP10. Definitely not, like, the best for the most part, but nice. I mean, look at that. And that's no bar either, and this is not a perfect one. You know what? Yeah, whenever we get over here to these other bots, I will go ahead and try out the interfacer. Again, I am not very experienced with it. I used it a little bit on that Melee Zero video, so we'll see how it does. You can see when you shoot it, it spawns those extra projectiles, so that's why I was kind of worried about velocity. Supposedly, this is supposed to be very good with bore. So let's go ahead and close some distance here. I really like execute for closing distance. Oh my gosh, wow. So yeah, you don't even have to sweet spot with this thing. Or wait, oh my god, you see how it shoot that loader up? He wasn't even slagged. Gosh. So when the projectiles come out, do they come out when you shoot the gun, or do they spawn later? Like what I'm asking is, if I get point blank on an enemy, will those extra projectiles hit or not? Or do you more need to sweet spot to do that? Nice. Yeah, I think it's going to be better just to fight them normally instead of trying to sweet spot. Oh, I've not used my grenade at all. Yeah, let's see if I can get some bore action here. Nice. The main reason I forget to use my grenades when I'm not using a slag transfusion is because I play Zero so much and I'm so used to having slag functionality on my grenade, I just forget when I don't have it, and then I end up not thinking about using it. Nice. I think that might have one-shot him. I think the interfacer is like the only Hyperion shotgun that consumes 2 ammo per shot. I might be wrong about that. Obviously, in this location, we have some really good weapons. You get the Lady Fist here. Excellent weapon. And you get the Bone Shredder from Bonehead 2.0 here. See if we can get these guys together. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Most of those guys were not even slagged. Getting pushed back. We'll go and swap to our sniper here. And then Saturn drops, I believe he drops the Invader and the Hive. The Invader is fairly good. It's like DPS wise, it's really good, but it chews through ammo and it can be kind of hard to land all of the, you know, rounds on a crit spot. So we got some Skags aggroing on us now. He was not slagged. We'll go ahead and take him out. And he did drop a Bone Shredder, but it is OP9 and non-elemental. Thank you, Gearbox, for not making your unique weapons be guaranteed to have an accessory. Really, really cool, awesome decision that really adds to the game. So no accessory, no element, and OP9. Wow. But that is a very excellent weapon. See if we can get these guys bunched up here. There we go, got some good damage off there. Oh god, oh god, oh god. See if I can heal with the Quasar. I think that did get my health back up. That's another thing. You can use, you know, obviously any damage when you're using a Moxie weapon is going to heal you. Whether that be, you know, the Quasar or your Kunai. And then again, since my health is so low, it's going to be really easy to keep it full. So even when the shield breaks, we know we're safe as long as we can do that. Which is one of the advantages of playing into OP levels. Obviously, for the most part, it just straight up makes the game much harder. But one advantage is it is easier to stay above health gate because your health does not go up. Boom, take him out. Take him out. Yeah, I guess this is really good for loaders because of that pattern, isn't it? The way it shoots. I mean, I've used it on flesh enemies and it was really good as well. So it's just a really good weapon. I have got a couple legitimately. Well, I mean, I've only beat Veracitus legitimately once with that Melee Zero kill. I did get an interfacer, but it was non-elemental. But I've got these from doing like the Rising Shot glitch and stuff. But by legitimate, I mean, you know, not using Gibbed or anything. Yeah, Veracitus, obviously, horrible, horrible abomination. Hopefully, if we ever get a Borderlands 2 remaster, they completely rework him or adjust him to be not so horrible in some way. So there is a chest up here that you get an achievement for opening. Feels like the first time. Obviously, Firestone was in Borderlands 1, so it's a reference to that. Hey, we got a Weisenheimer. And you could actually revisit this area also in the pre-sequel in Claptrap, one of Claptrap's memory sequences, I think. I think Borderlands 3 was the first game that you couldn't actually visit here in, which kind of sucked, but I guess they had to stop eventually. So let's see if I can bore him. I was talking to Fierce Chimera about if bore kills should be legitimate in these videos, and he made it a point that I agree with, which is that if Zero would normally be playing this way, then it should be fair game. So you're normally going to be using bore, so I don't feel bad for boring him. Plus, I'm not even doing a good job here. For some enemies, it's like impossible to avoid, like Bunker. So I think I shot all of his turrets off already, so we're just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way now. Oh my god! Wow. Oh geez, get back to cover, that was really scary. Well, we got most of his health gone though. Again, he is one of the worst bosses in the game. What is it gonna do from this range? Not very much. I need to be able to land those other projectiles. But I don't want to get too far away from cover, because if I do, he's gonna be able to kill me. Especially because I don't have cooldown rate. Okay, that's actually doing decent damage. Yeah, we can just do this. As long as I can avoid getting killed by him, we'll take him out relatively easily. Yeah, I just don't know what Gearbox was thinking with him. And then with Digistruct Peak, they made him even tankier, and they put 2 of them. I mean, it's like, what the hell were you thinking? I might have just, I just killed myself almost. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Yeah, horrible, horrible boss. Hit him with some quasars. Probably won't do anything, but... Yeah, I need to watch how other people bore him. I don't fully understand it. I know you want to shoot where his turrets are, but I'm not super good at it. Don't fully understand what I'm supposed to be doing. So, I mean, this damage is not terrible. It's just I'm afraid of getting close because he can do that shit. I almost got him, though. I could probably actually move in with Killing Blow and take him out. But sometimes Killing Blow messes up with large enemies, and you'll, like, bounce all over the place.
Which kind of sucks, because there's a lot of bosses that would be really fun to fight with Melee Zero, like a lot of large bosses.
Oh. Well, no, no, no. No, no! No! Oh, come on, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh god, fuck, that was close. That's why you never let your guard down, guys. Holy crap, I would have been so sad if I died there. Okay, yeah, so we take on Saturn, one of the worst bosses in the game, with a Hyperion Allegiance shotgun build. Yeah, and we will move on to the next one. Alright guys, and here we are with the 4th Shotgun Zer0 build. I'm going to be running a Deputy Zero build here. I'm going to use the Orphan Maker, and one of my subscribers told me about this a while back. If Two Fang activates while you're holding the Orphan Maker, you actually won't take the extra self damage from the Orphan Maker. Obviously, when you pull the trigger on the Orphan Maker, I think it does it do 5% of your total shield to you. Let's let my shield refill up here. But anyway, if Two Fang procs, you don't take damage from the extra shot. You take it from the initial shot, but not the first one. It's more than 5%, looks like. Yeah, that's a... Or is it because this shield is so small? I might have to do a different shield then. So let's throw on the antagonist and see if it's doing the same thing. Okay, so it seems to be about 500,000. Or, yeah, is that about 500,000 each time? Okay, so I'm gonna have to use a tankier shield then. Right, so 81 to 76, yeah, that's about 5. Let's throw on the blockade and see what that does with the blockade's damage reduction. Oh, it seems to bypass the blockade's damage reduction. Interesting. That's weird. Almost nothing does that. Unless my math ain't mathing. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just run this all bandits parts antagonist then. The antagonist is a very good shield as well. Like I said, we're going to be doing a Deputy Zero build here. Deputy's badge does give you shotgun reload speed, so it's good for shotguns that reload a lot. Gives you a little bit of damage and extra fight for your lifetime, which is nice. I'm going to be running this Rock Ravager. I did get this legitimately. This is, again, one of my best gemstones. You can see it's got Mashing Grip and the critical hit accessory, which is really nice. Although for a perfect one, you would want Jacob's Sight. And then the stock, the stock is fine, like it's not a big deal. The bandit stock is just really ugly, I don't like that. But it's very good. And yeah, so I'm just gonna throw on a Maggie here to fit the deputy theme. And I'm gonna be running a neutral evil rogue here just for some variety. And the critical damage and magazine size will be nice for these weapons. Obviously, they wouldn't really benefit from fire rate bonuses, so this will be nice. And I already used the legendary killer, so I just wanted to go ahead and use this, like I said, for variety's sake. Now, I don't actually have the corrosive fastball, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna go back to the transfusion grenade. I'll try to make it a priority to use, you know, a more variety of grenades in future build videos. But I need to get this done. I don't want to exit out all this and go into GIP and stuff. I need to go ahead and get this done here. So yeah, you can see here, you know what, actually I could go, I'm gonna use the Slag Pimpernel, so let me go ahead and respec my skills here. With loaders having the bigger hitboxes, it doesn't hurt the Slag Pimpernel that much, so go ahead and take it. Yeah, we'll get 10 total points in velocity, which is really nice, and 11 total points in Two Fang. So again, when Two Fang procs, we will be saved from the Orphan Maker's self-damage. From the extra shot, we'll take it from the original shot. But you can see, like I said, I did use vertical grip on this. This is gibbed, but I did not use matching grip. Now, normally, I think you have to have either a bandit grip or a Jacob's grip to get multiple shots in the magazine. This one only has one shot in the magazine, but since I have magazine size from the neutral evil rogue here, I'll be able to get 2 shots off, which will be nice, right? Otherwise, you would have to have, again, the matching grip or the bandit grip, I believe, are the only ones that will achieve that. But yeah, we'll get started here. I did come to Washburn. I know it's an easier map, but like I said, I needed to go ahead and get this done. And it does technically have a mini boss, even though it's just a really easy mini boss. But yeah, the Orphan Maker's obviously really good. That should have one-shot him. That was bad placement on my part. But running 2 shotguns, like obviously the Orphan Maker has that self-damage, so you might not always be in a position to use it. So I'll have the Ravager to swap to if I need to. And also, if you didn't know, explosive damage suffers a 20% damage penalty against shields, and non-elemental suffers a 20% damage penalty against armor. So I'll have both of those options as well. Almost one-shot him. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I need to pick my shots, place my shots a little bit better here. Getting backed up here. Need to retreat a little bit. Come on, Deception. There you go. Go ahead and get our health back up. So see, like, I wanted to get my health back up before I used the Orphan Maker again. I would not recommend using the Orphan Maker on 0 without a way to get your health back up. So yeah, getting this many shots in the magazine with this weapon is really nice. You can see one of the best shotguns in the game. The Ravager is a Torgue shotgun with a Torgue barrel, so of course it does benefit from the matching barrel bonus, which I've talked about before. There is something in this game called the matching barrel bonus, similar to the matching grip bonus. Although for matching grip, oh god, what was that? For matching grip, you get reload speed and magazine size, plus whatever, you know, normal effect that the grip would have. For the matching barrel bonus, you get the normal effect of the barrel plus a unique effect. It changes. It's not consistent. Like for, you know, again, the Snyder, it gets a 20% damage bonus when it has the matching mallow on barrel. And then there's some things that don't get it, like the TD or SMGs don't get the matching barrel bonus, I believe. But anyway, that's why the Ravager is so good. I mean, the Torgue barrel in general is really good, but then on top of that, you get the matching barrel bonus. I believe it is a 20% damage bonus as well, but I might be wrong. Now, if you wanted, you could use like a slow hand and maybe a fastball. You could try to get your health back up that way. But we'll just go with our trusty Slag Transfusion Grenade. I'm not placing my shots particularly well right now, and so these guys are surviving longer than they should, so let's try to do better than that. Yeah, after this run, we'll do a couple of raid bosses as well, and that'll be nice. Shotgun Zer0 again, pretty good for raid bossing with like a conference call. Yeah, I'm just placing my shots horribly. I've got to focus up and do better than that. I would say the Overkill is probably my favorite because it's a Torgue barreled shotgun that can come in an element. And like get a matching, you know, bonus. So you can see we can one-shot those guys whenever I'm in Deception and I'm actually landing good crits. But yeah, I consider the Antagonist and the Blockade to be the 2 best defensive shields. I like the blockade just a little bit more. I feel like it's a little bit tankier with its 35% damage reduction on OP10, which also does apply to your health. Now, this version of the antagonist I'm using is one with all bandit parts. Obviously, the one that's considered perfect is the one with all Hyperion parts. But you can see we get really good stats with the one with the all bandit parts. Over 8 mil capacity, 1.2 million recharge rate, and a 2.8 second delay is really nice. Obviously, it's at the detriment of the deflection stats, but I find it to be worth it. So let's go ahead and try to use the Maggie since he's a hot loader. I knew a guy was approaching me over there, so needed to be careful. Will you look at me so I can crit you? There you go. Alright, so let's actually use the Orphan Maker again. Oh, horrible shot placement, man. I just cannot place my shots right now. There we go. Nice. Oh, seriously? I mean, the range on that is a little ridiculous. Get our health back up here. Death Mark. Boom, take them out. Yeah, I mean, you can see whenever my shot placement is good, we're able to take them out really quickly. See if I can hit him from back here. There we go, nice. Obviously, the antagonist is much easier to get than the blockade. To get the blockade, you have to be able to beat the dragons. To get the antagonist, you just have to be able to get Seraph crystals. Oh, he's not slagged. He's still not slagged. Still not dying. There we go, nice. But yeah, as you can see, there are many, many different ways to play Shotgun Zer0. Man, this map has so many freaking barrels, it's insane. Yeah, another thing is, I don't like the visual pollution of the antagonist. It's a little annoying. And the homing slag balls can actually block your shots. And they can also actually slag yourself. If you're like behind cover, they can blow up on cover and actually hurt yourself. So, there we go. Taken out that way. Haven't really used the Maggie at all. That was more of just a flavor thing. There we go, nice. Yeah, the damage on this is very good. Again, for these types of shotguns, you do really need the vertical grip. Let's see if I can get a bore shot here. Nope, but I am gonna die, almost. That was a really risky, stupid play. Jeez. So I'm not playing very good right now. Very well, I should say. There we go, we'll take him out, though. Hey, you're not always going to be at 100%, so it's okay. But yeah, I think this Rock Ravager, that Diamond Development, and those two Raykells I've got have been my best gemstones so far. Yeah, for Shotgun Zer0, for efficiency, I would always recommend the Bone of the Ancients. It's just so good when you can, especially when you can match elements, but also when you're in close against enemies, being able to get your deception back faster is obviously going to be the safest option, right? But I mean, other stuff is viable, but the Bone of the Ancients is, again, in my opinion, the best item in the entire game, because you get a good damage bonus, and getting your action skill back faster is just so good for the vast majority of characters. I think Krieg is one that doesn't really care about it that much, but I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, the Overkill, the Development, and the Shotgun Supreme are the Torgue barreled shotguns that can come in elements, so you can get the element matching bonus. Obviously, the Quad is the Jacobs version, and they're all good, but being able to get an element so you can use them with the Bone of the Ancients is really nice. I mean, some people like using the Bone of the Ancients even when you can't get the element matching bonus, just because they like the cooldown rate that much. And that's definitely, you know, a fair way to use it. But I usually prefer to just boost my damage with like a Heart of the Ancients or something. There we go. And yeah, Zer0 being fragile, obviously. Oh my gosh, seriously. Being fragile, and then I just walked into the line of fire, man. I'm just playing horribly right now. And then using a weapon that does self-damage is, you know, not the best. So I wouldn't really This wouldn't be one of my favorite shotguns to use on Zero. I mean, he has such good damage. He can use other ones really effectively that don't hurt him. But, you know, it is viable even if it's not ideal. There we go. Again, we need to fight him from like halfway across the room because that explosion range is just insane. Yeah, I haven't really used the Maggie at all. Again, that was kind of something I picked more for flavor. You could use a rocket launcher, a moxie weapon, whatever. Barrel patrol, barrel patrol. Barrel, barrel. Where is he? He's up there. He's not going to jump down. He's up there. He's also not going to jump down. Okay, there he goes. Let's do this. Throw a couple grenades to protect ourselves. Nice. Shoot his arms off. Then we'll try to move in and take him out with the Orphan Maker. So see, I almost killed myself by shooting with the Orphan Maker when my health was down. Alright, get our health back up. Get rid of his shield. Again, explosive damage does suffer a 20% damage penalty against shields. Nice, got some good damage there. Normally the reload on this is pretty painful, but... Oh, I actually just got downed by Hurley. Man, this is truly a shameful performance. I think that's the only time I got down in the video so far, though. Not 100% sure about that. Get our health back up, and then I'll take out this last guy with the Orphan Maker. Again, it's just a pretty risky weapon to use on Zero. Although, you know, of course, totally viable. So we'll get our Deception back here. Keep Slag up on him. Surely we can one-shot him here. Yep, there we go. Yeah, totally capable of one-shotting those guys. Alright, but yeah, not a very good performance by me. But you can see, Deputy Zero definitely viable. And we will go and do a couple of raid bosses. Alright guys, and here we are with a couple of raid bosses. Like I said, I was going to show how effective Zero can be with stuff like the conference call against these raid bosses. So first of all, we're going to start with Haderax here. Like I've said before, I would recommend learning how to farm him because he's just such a great farm. I've actually got this conference call from him. Conference calls, beaches, shredifiers. He drops all kinds of good stuff. That's harder to farm from, you know, their actual source. But anyway, we'll take a quick look at the skills here. Well, just show the gear real fast. Just going to use a ruby to get my health back up. Conference call for the damage. Slag pimp for slagging. You do want a toothpick and a retainer for moving and jumping quickly in this area. Slag transfusion for slagging. I do prefer the chaotic neutral rogue here for the magazine size and the fire rate. And then of course just a firebone. Now, once we get into position down here, I'm going to swap over to my recently obtained Lady Fist and my B Shield. You can see I've actually been farming him already. That's where I got all this stuff here. And here's my Lady Fist. Like I said, guys, you don't really need perfect parts in this game. I just recently got this, and it's got a mallow on grip, which, you know, is still plenty viable, and a fire element, and a fire rate accessory, and a Hyperion sight, which is really nice. I would have honestly accepted this role even if it didn't have an accessory. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. Keep in mind, I don't spec into velocity with this conference call. I did before in my previous videos, and I actually realized that I can kill him faster with Zero without the conference call, at least from this angle. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started here. He is pretty iridium expensive, so you want to come in with some iridium. But we'll just run over here. You can use that geyser to boost yourself up, but it's not reliable, not as reliable. It's just harder. So as long as you have the toothpick and retainer, it'll be easier. So he'll always launch a glob attack at you when he's far away. And then he will kunai. So now he came out of that one, he went into that one, so I know he's going to come out of that one now. And that is not the one I need him to come out of. So sometimes it's just a bit of a waiting game, but we'll go ahead and equip the gear we're going to use here. And I think this method should pretty much work for every character, because this isn't really, like, obviously if I'm using sniper rifles, the damage is going to be coming from critical ascension. but I'm not using sniper rifles, so it's just the conference call and him being weak, really weak on that crit spot. So we throw our slag, shoot, 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 shoot. Okay, we got good slag luck. Shoot up here, shoot up here. Okay, we downed him, and we should just be able to shoot right here. Nice. See, it's that easy. Yeah, conference call absolutely melts him. Now, you can't always do that in one phase. Sometimes it'll take you multiple phases of shooting him up there to knock him down. But yeah, as you can see, the conference call just absolutely eviscerates him. And I've done lots of other Haderax kills if you want to check those out. I've done, you know, a lot not using the conference call. The Lauda will work, the Lady Fist, different stuff like that. So we got a Hammer Buster, but I've already got a Thompson. I do have a mod that lets me summon loot in front of me. But yeah, you can see these are really, really generous. So we got a Hellfire here, but I've got a better version already. But you can sell it for a lot of money, but I've already got a ton of crap to sell. Ooh, a Room Cleaner. That's a really good shotgun. Not very good parts though. But yeah, he drops basically enough Iridium to replenish what you spent. Bonus package, Peak Opener. I've already got a perfect version of that. Yeah, I mean, he's just so insanely generous with his loot. He does drop the easy mode. Yeah, if you can consistently farm him, he's really good for progressing through Digistruct Peak. Because with like the Peak Opener and the hard carry and stuff and the easy mode, when you wear that stuff on Digistruct Peak, you get really good bonuses, like crazy amount of time and fight for your life. So if you're progressing through Digistruct Peak, that's actually a really good way to do that. And I'll go ahead and do a couple more kills. You know, if that's all you wanted to see, feel free to skip ahead to the next raid boss. But yeah, I think every character should be able to do this because, again, this is mostly just the conference call doing this work. So I don't see why other characters wouldn't be able to do this. Again, he'll do his glob attack, so wait for it, then we deception, then we run up here. So he's going to come out of this geyser over here again. Oh, be careful not to walk into that, as I currently am doing, because that will hurt you. Equip our B, equip our Lady Fist. But yeah, Sandhawk is also good here. A lot of that kind of stuff. Again, I've got lots and lots of Haderax kills if you want to check out other ones. And you might actually be able to hurt him from this angle, but this is just the easiest and simplest way to do it. Alright, so he's going to come out of the right geyser now. So go ahead and start throwing our grenades. Sometimes he doesn't slag very, very easily, but we're getting good luck now. I would recommend the Slag Pimp. Oh, I missed my shot, so I might not be able to one-cycle him here. Yeah, so that's okay. So see, I'm going to get hit here, but I will just get my health back up with my Ruby when he comes out here. You could also use the grenades, but this will be more reliable. Alright, so shoot, 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 shoot. Get our health back up through our decoy. Alright, and now he's going to come out of this geyser again. Throw our grenades. Yeah, Slag Pimp is an excellent slag tool. There we go. Shouldn't take much to knock him over. He's down. Just aim at the bottom of his teeth here. And there we go. Beautiful. Again, it is that easy. And if you don't have the conference call, the Sandhawk can also like one burst him. I'll do one more run with the Sandhawk just to show that. Skull Masher. Already got a better version though. I've got a ton of Laudas here too. Again, super, super generous farm. Nuke 'em. There's a Pushka. Oh, there is a hard carry. But yeah, we'll do one more and I'll show, like, even if you don't have the conference call, you can just use like a Sandhawk. Or you know what? I won't use the Lady Fist or the conference call. This time I'll do a Lauda. Yeah, I'll do Lauda and Sandhawk. So throw on the Sandhawk. See, it's not even a flying Sandhawk. It has no accessory. Go ahead and equip that there. And I will actually respec into Velocity. If you're not using the conference call, I would recommend taking Velocity. But yeah, super generous farm, guys. Just make sure you come in with some Iridium because he costs like 20 Iridium each time. So if you keep having to start over, if you can't kill him and you keep having to spend that Iridium, you can burn through your Iridium really quickly. But yeah, this time we'll just go ahead and do... Oh, I forgot to hit the damn button. Alright, hit the button. Run over here. Drop down. Run, run, run. Running over here. Run, 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 run. Alright, now he's going to spawn any second. Come on. Yeah, again, again, every character should be able to kill him pretty easily with the conference call, because I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. I have killed him with Axon and my, if you want to check out my rating videos with them. I'm just not as experienced with them, so I don't really know for sure. But yeah, we'll down him with the Lyuda and then finish him off with the Sandhawk. Again, we'll want to aim at like the bottom of his teeth. Takes him a second to come out on this first rise. And again, I know he's going to come out here because this is the only one he didn't interact with. All right, good slack luck. Try to get our shots on point here. Maybe enough to down him. Nope. So again, we'll have to hit him multiple cycles. That's okay. Get our health back up with the ruby. So this is a fight that if you can one cycle him, it's pretty easy. If you can't kill him the first time you down him, he'll start moving around and healing, and it can be pretty hard to deal with. So again, I know he's going to come out right here. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Got him slag. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Then we'll aim for the bottom of his teeth here. And simple as that. Again, no flying Sandhawk. And then we will move on to Crawmerax. I'll show you guys the loot, then we'll move on. This mod, like most of my mods, is from the PythonSDK Database. I think it's called Be Gone Out of Bounds Loot or something. Hey! So there's a vertical grip sledges, but no element rip. But yeah, you get a lot of sledges here. You get a lot of good non-uniques as well. I've got a ton of good non-uniques here. Peak Opener again, and class mods. I mean, here's a longbow Quasar with a low fuse time. I've already got a better one though. There's a Shotgun Supreme. So yeah, I mean, there's so much good stuff here. Iridium. But yeah, we will move on. All right, guys, and here we are with Son of Crawmerax. Again, the Shock conference call is really good for him. The Shock Pimpernel, Shock Lyuda, Shock Sandhawk, those will also all work. But again, since I am doing some shotgun gameplay here, I figured I'd go ahead and try to take him on with the Shock conference call here. And you can see I'm going to use my Chaotic Neutral Rogue as well. And you can just take a quick look at the skills here. I decided to skip Velocity again. At this, I'm honestly not sure at the range. So we'll see. It might have been a good idea to spec into it. If the range is coming up short, then yeah, we'll know that I should have spec'd into it. But we'll go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to use the Sandhawk for the mobs. I got a slag pimp if I need it. Shock conference call for Crawmerax. Then Ruby for getting our health back up. He's very hard to slag, which is very annoying. It's probably the most annoying thing about most of these raid bosses. Which, like I said, I think they did do that to encourage multiplayer, but you know, still don't really like it. So we're gonna make sure we don't get cornered here. Okay, so he did. If I had waited just a second to shoot, I could have got the slag there. I'm trying to get the unlisted projectiles to converge, so I'm already off to a bad start. Don't get cornered. If you get cornered again against him, it's gonna be bad news. All right, come on, come on, come on. Trying to get, okay, we got him to his first phase, even though I didn't really get some good shot placement there or anything. And now it's just a waiting game. Again, I've done other fights with him that you can check out. Oh god, that guy spawned right in front of me. So Shock is the best element for Crawmerax, but Fire is almost as good. They deal the same damage, except for on his back, he resists fire. So that can work, but again, Shock is going to be better if you have it. Okay, let's get out of this corner here. Get our health back up with our kunai. Alright. So I wonder, he's going to spawn right here, I think. Yep, and I'm almost cornered, so this is not good. Oh, wow, what the fuck? This has never happened before. Oh, but he can hit me. So my corrosive immunity on my shield there saved me. That could have been bad. He can't apply corrosive dot to you if you don't have a corrosive immunity shield. So we're not doing great so far. There we go. There was some good damage. So this guy's in my face. I'm going to have to take him out. Or just juke him out. Let's just do this, yeah. Let's throw a grenade. Almost got him to his second immunity phase. Come on, come on. Alright, juke him out again. He's almost there. Alright, there we go. Even though I'm having horrible slag luck here and I'm not hitting his crit spots, it's still doing some pretty good damage to him, as you can see. Alright, so we'll get a movement speed bonus. Movement speed bonuses are really good against pretty much all, well, against most of the raid bosses for getting out of trouble, you know. The main thing to watch out for here is if gun-wielding enemies spawn, you need to take them out fast because they will shoot you, obviously, from far away. Alright, so I think he's going to spawn over there where that dust cloud is, so try to do this. Try to time this right so I can get Kuna on him as he comes out. Nice. So probably, yeah, probably did not need velocity. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Is he in an immunity phase? Or, yeah, already got him to his last phase. Like I said before, I wish that, like, I think an easy way to make this fight more... Oh, holy crap. An easy way to make this fight more interesting would have been to, instead of making you fight standard mobs, add a little enemy called the Son of Crawmerax. I'm about to get downed. Get out of the corner, get out of the corner. Do not get cornered. Come on, deception. I need deception. I need deception. Oh god, go, 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 go. Oh, what? What? I just misinput. I did not mean to do that at all. Alright, but we're good, we're good. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Come on, come on. I'm out of slag grenades. But we almost got him. Get away from these enemies. Rokuna. Don't think it's... Okay, I did catch him, nice. Almost got him, almost got him. Yeah, I've got to be careful to not get knocked off this map. Yeah, what I was saying is, I wish instead of just making you fight standard mobs, there was special enemies called the Son of Crawmerax that you had to hunt down during the immunity phase. And when you killed it, it would end it faster. That would be, I think, a little bit more engaging than just waiting around. So, of course, I've complained about his drops a lot. He only drops cosmetics. I mean, his chests are pretty good, but they're not as good as the Snowman farm, which came out before this, so feels a little redundant. The community patch gives him, I believe, 5% chances to drop a legendary or a pearlescent, which is really cool and would have been good if that was in the base game. And then again, it's hard to even check the loot field because all of these guys are harassing you. But yeah, as you can see, Shotgun Zer0 very effective. For raid bossing, I do like using shotguns for Haderax and Crawmerax. I don't really use them on other raid bosses, but, you know, could probably work on some of them. Although, I'm sure it's not going to be ideal. Alright, so now that we just freaking died there, let's go see if we got anything good. Oh yeah, I can use that. So they do drop, he does drop some interesting cosmetics, but Sparky Flint, I believe, also drops them, so... Hey, we got, ooh, okay, we got a really good development. Nice. So that would be really good, except I've already got a gemstone version. But yeah, vertical grip with bandit grip. So that might be a perfect development. I don't know. Sometimes people prefer the bandit grip on Hyperion weapons. Ooh, and it's got a Jacob's side. So that's got the best spread reduction. So that honestly might be better than my gemstone version. I believe my gemstone version has the critical hit accessory. So they're probably very competitive, actually. But yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, and we did get a Rolling Thunder. Hey, we got a longbow slag singularity, but with a long fuse time. So, I mean, there is some good stuff you get out of these chests, but again, it's just like... He's just not worth it unless, you know, you just want to do the fight for fun. But, like, I don't understand why he doesn't have any unique drops. That's very weird. Hey, ooh, oh my god, hey, that's like an arguably perfect plasma caster. Holy shit. Hyperion grip damage accessory. Probably bullet speed accessory, some people might like better. But yeah, that is a damn good plasma caster. That's probably the best one I've found so far. So yeah, we got a couple of good things out of these chests. Oh, is that another one? Oh, but it's slag. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, there's some different shotgun builds and some raid boss gameplay. And if you did, do please consider liking and subscribing. Really appreciate the channel members, and extra special thanks to Leg and Weirdna for being a Veracity Slayer. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, and I hope to see you next time.